Hello everyone. So a few weeks ago I went to a wedding. It was actually the first wedding I've ever been to in my entire life, and I'm 28 years old. I know, it's crazy. Everybody was like completely shook by it at the wedding. But yeah, I just like don't know a lot of people that have been married, and nobody in my family had a wedding, so I just never really got to go to a wedding. But anyway, I posted a little picture on Instagram of my look. I wore this gorgeous Rixo dress, which I've had for a while. I love it so much. And then I wore a beautiful Anine bing. It's a bra, but it's like a kind of like a cami. And so I wore that underneath. And then I wore these gorgeous blue velvet Malone Soulier shoes. I was feeling it, you know, guys. So anyway, I had a lot of comments being like, how did you do your makeup for this? And it was the easiest makeup ever because I was traveling, so I didn't like have that much stuff. Well, that's a lie. I always have a lot of stuff with me, but I just wanted to recreate the wedding look for you today. I'm gonna be showing you how I did my makeup exactly the same way. I'm using the exact same products and applying it in the exact same way. It's super easy, but I feel like it's really glowy and kind of glam, but not too overdone. So let's get started. So of course I prepped my skin as I normally would. I just like washed my face, put my moisturizer on, etc. And then I used a new product, which is by Lancôme. It's their blur stick. And I've never used a blur stick before. It looks so strange to me. It's just like a white stick. It's awesome because it can blur your pores, it can even out your skin texture, and it's just a great base for makeup. This is also really cool because you can use it over top of makeup. So throughout the night I had this in my bag, and I was always like dabbing a little bit on my face and then just like mattifying my face, which is great because you don't have to bring a big powder around with you. But anyway, so this was a great base for my makeup. It's also a really long-lasting product, and this is part of Lancôme's new setting routine for the perfect base, and you can use the base products I'm about to show you with any foundation or any other products that you use, but these base products are really great because they're gonna help your makeup last. I'm not much of a dancer, so I wasn't like breaking a sweat, but I really wanted my makeup to last all night long, so I really took the extra time to prep my skin to have the perfect base. So after the blur stick was on and I have a nice prepared base, I added a little bit of the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. I'm in the shade 011, and of course you can apply this with a brush, but I really like to apply it just with my fingertips. I really try to blend it into my skin, and then I always try to like take both of my hands and press the product into my skin. It just really melts it in and it makes it look like skin. I don't often wear like heavy or full coverage foundations, but when I'm going out for an evening and it's a special occasion, I wanna make sure my base is as flawless as possible. So I definitely wanted to use a foundation, but that being said, I don't want it to look like I'm wearing a foundation, so I always really add that warmth from my hands and press it into my skin. So this is a 24-hour wear foundation. I can't say I tested it for 24 hours, but I did test it for a very good amount of time. We were up until the wee hours of the morning, and I still looked great when I got back, if I do say so myself. I really didn't want to take my makeup off. So like I said, it's a full coverage foundation and it comes in 40 shades. I always like to have a concealer on hand just to cover any blemishes that I might have. I love the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the shade Light 2.75. This is actually my summer color, and I think it's getting a little dark for me, which is so sad. But I just love this because it is matte and it is long lasting. So I just take a bit of the concealer and pop it wherever I need it. I had a couple blemishes and I always have a bit of redness on my chin area, so that I just try to conceal those little areas. And then I also like to put a tiny little bit of the Glossier Stretch Concealer under my eyes. My favorite trick with under eye concealer is just to put it in the inner corners because it brightens up the eyes, but it doesn't leave it like caked underneath, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't like to look like I'm like super tired and I really had to pile on the concealer, so I just try to put like a little bit at the darkest point of, and for me that's my inner corner. So that's how I apply my under eye concealer. And I love the Glossier concealer because it's a little bit dewy and it just looks so like bright and beautiful under the eyes. Because I knew it was going to be a long night, I wanted to set my makeup properly, so I used the Lancôme Long Time No Shine Mattifying Powder. This is a loose powder, and I know loose powders can be a bit annoying to travel with sometimes, but I personally love the finish of a loose powder because I feel like it just really glides onto your skin and creates a perfect, flawless finish. When I apply loose powder, I try to just take my brush and press it into the skin, and then I kind of go over it with a brushing motion just to get rid of any excess, and it just leaves you with the most perfect finish. So you can apply loose powder the way I do, or you can go like full-blown Insta makeup with it and bake your face. I don't know how to do this baking and all that stuff. I'm so fascinated by all of you girls who can do those crazy makeup tutorials, and like, I don't understand why it's called baking, but I guess you just like put a lot of powder on top and let it bake and then brush it off. Anyway, I don't do that. I just put it on in a totally average way, but I really love this loose powder, and it comes in 2 shades. I'm using the translucent shade, but it also comes in a deep shade. Next up, we've got to bronze it up, baby. I am obsessed with bronzer, especially this one from Buxom. It is in the shade Tahiti. I was shown this bronzer by my friend Katie Jane Hughes, who's an awesome makeup artist. I love this bronzer because it's just, for me, the perfect shade, and it's also a satin finish, so it's not completely matte, but it's also not like glittery or shimmery. So for me, it's just that kind of like lit from within glow, and it is really my go-to. So I just apply that with a big fluffy brush. I'm using the It Cosmetics Wand Ball Powder brush, which always makes me giggle because I'm super immature, but it's a great brush for bronzer. So I put that all over my face and make sure to blend it in. And then, because I'm lazy and also because I think it looks nice, I use my bronzer as eyeshadow as well. So I just take a little eyeshadow brush and just, you know, blend it in. It's super easy, but I think it looks gorgeous. And I also put a little bit under my eyes, just on the outer corner, just to kind of tie it all in together. And I really think it makes my eye color pop and stand out because I don't wear loads of liner. So that's kind of what I do, and I do this almost every single day. Eyebrow wise, you guys have seen me do my eyebrows 1,000 times, but I love the It Cosmetics Brow Power in the shade Universal Taupe. So I just like to fill in any gaps or spaces in my brows with that and make sure I'm brushing through my brows and just, you know, take the time to create the shape. And I love this pencil for that. And then I am using a bit of the Glossier Boy Brow. I have the shade Blonde, but I think I might go back to the darker shade. But I digress. That's something that's been on my mind for a while now. But my top tip with eyebrows is to back comb them. So much like, you know, hair and like texturizing spray for the hair, I always try to texturize my eyebrows because I don't have that many hairs on my eyebrows. And I think it makes a huge difference to coat each side of the brow hair and really like back comb them and then lightly go over them again just to put them in place. I love doing that. And I've got a few friends hooked on this method, and everybody is a convert. So give it a go if you've never done that before. Of course, it wouldn't be an Estée tutorial without a bit of highlighter. I've been using the Glossier Haloscope highlighter. This is in the shade Moonstone. This is their more like white colored highlighter. I've really been enjoying it. I just like to put it on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, a little bit above the top of my lip, and then just blend it in. Again, I just use my hands and the warmth from my hands to blend it and melt it into the skin. And I also, of course, like to take a little bit onto the inner corners of the eyes. And then I take it on top of my eyeshadow, or my bronzer in this case, because I use a bronzer as an eyeshadow, because why not? So I just take a little bit on my fingertips and I just put it on my eyelids. I think it's just a really pretty way of getting some like glow there, and it's not like too invasive, it's not super shimmery, but it just kind of makes everybody think, what eyeshadow are you wearing? And you're like, girl, let me tell you, it's a combo. I know I said I don't wear a lot of eyeliner, and I really don't, but I truly love the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Smog. I've talked about this for years, and I just like to smudge a little bit on the outer corner. It makes my lashes look a little bit fuller when it comes to applying makeup, and I don't know, I also just think it is just kind of like defines the look, and I was going out in the evening, so I wanted a little something special, and this is just a gorgeous bronze color. So I put a little bit of that on my lash line and just smudge it out with my fingertips. Super messy, super easy. This is another product to make sure that my makeup lasted all night long. This is the Lancôme Fix It, Forget It up to 24-hour makeup setting mist. This is a super hydrating setting spray, which is kind of why I don't use setting sprays that often, because I feel like they always either make your skin over glowy or over dry it, and I just like have not been able to find one that I love. But this is literally my perfect setting spray. I've been taking this with me everywhere. I truly adore this. If you want to get one product from this video, this is like my hero product for sure. I adore it. It's also anti-pollution, so I've kind of just been like keeping this in my handbag if I'm out and about. I always sound super Canadian when I say that. But yeah, I really, really do love this. You can just mist this all over your face. It really sets your makeup. It helps make it last. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a nice final step. I'm sure you can figure out what's next. I curled my lashes. I won't make you sit through that close up. I know people get a little freaked out by that. Everybody's always like, trigger warning on the eyelash curlers. I know, it can be very freaky to watch. So after I curled my lashes, I did one application of the Lancôme Mr. Big Mascara. I love this mascara so much. And then I let it dry a little bit and go in for a second coat. I also put a teeny tiny bit on my lower lashes. And then a little trick is to take your fingers and just take off the tips of the lashes, if that makes sense, because it just kind of like gives you the definition at the root. Mascara done, and the last step is lip gloss. This is to me what made the entire look. It's the Lancôme L'Absolu Lacquer, and this is in the shade 216. These are so glorious. Lisa Eldridge formulated these, and they're so unique. They're like a stain mixed with a gloss, mixed with a liquid lipstick. They are gorgeous. So I put this on my lips, and then I realized I didn't bring a blush with me. So I literally just improvised. I put a little bit of this on the back of my hand and then just used my fingers to dab it in as a blush. And I have to say, I think it turned out really well because it's such a unique consistency and it lasted so long because it is a bit of a stain. So I was really into that as well. So that's how I did my makeup for the wedding I went to a few weeks ago. My hair literally always looks the same. I think I basically just like tried to smooth it out as much as possible and just like put it behind my ears like this. But I didn't want to do anything crazy with it because I had a lot going on with the dress and the shoes, but I felt super cute that night and I had such an awesome time at the wedding. So yeah, just wanted to share how I did my makeup. If you guys went to any weddings this summer, I'd love to see what you wore, so you can tag me on Instagram so I can check it out because I really like didn't know what to wear to a wedding. I'd never been to one before. But yeah, I was feeling it. So anyway, I'm just rambling now, but I hope you guys liked this video. You can give it a thumbs up and I will see you in my next one. Bye.